On the hot seat today, Disperse, a corporate learning and skilling platform, has raised $30 million in its Series C funding round, led by Lumos Capital. Now, 360 ONE Asset and returning investors K Capital, Cois and Dallas Venture Capital also participated. And founded in 2015, Disperse currently serves nearly 350 organizations and 2.8 million users across global enterprises. Joining us now to discuss this further is Subbu Viswanathan, the co-founder and CEO of Disperse. Subbu, thank you so much for joining us on Startup Street. Now, your organization's mission is to revolutionize how organizations are approaching learning, skill development, and people advancement. So talk to us about what's on offer, or what's the demand you're seeing as well for your offerings.
Firstly, thank you very much for having me here. So to explain in simple terms, what we do is we are a learning and skilling platform company whose mission is to make the workforce ready for the current and future challenges. So now the way we do this is through a suite of offerings. We start with what's called a mobile enterprise learning management system. Companies that have been delivering training in the physical methods, that's no longer relevant post-COVID. So the first thing companies need to do is digitize their training and learning operations, make it more current, make it more mobile friendly, make it more millennial friendly, make it more interesting, gamify it, create rewards around it, and so on. So the first thing we do is deploy a mobile enterprise learning management system for companies. Once they achieve a certain level of proficiency with that, then we bring the concept of skills. We create a platform. The next generation of the platform helps employees discover skills that are of interest, and they can actually learn and meet a particular career goal. The most sophisticated of our offerings is what we call the Capability Academy. Okay. Where we bring in AI-driven roles and skills, where each person is assessed on every skill, and based on skill gaps, we provide a very personalized upskilling path for each. And we marry that with performance data as well. So that's what we do. It's a three-part solution depending on a client's digital learning maturity. All right, so three-part offering there. But Subbu, if you can quickly tell us, you're raising these funds essentially to integrate, the big buzzword today being generative AI across the learning and skilling cycle. So talk to us about this opportunity and how will it improve efficiency? What are the new offerings in the pipeline now, apart from these three that you've already said you have? So we think of generative AI as not a product, but as a capability, as a foundational capability that sort of cuts across all the three products. The way learning will be done and will be delivered in the context of an enterprise, which today has a lot of hybrid and gig workers and a lot of remote workers, is very different. So the way we see generative AI being used is three or four powerful use cases. First is we're going to provide content creation capabilities in the hands of the employees. Right. Now, a lot of the expertise, a lot of the know-how resides tacitly in the minds of employees in a company. But they don't have a platform for actually showcasing it. So what generative AI can do for you is provide a platform where you can convert that into a learning material for others without being an expert in instructional design. So that's one very simple use case of generative AI that we plan to bring. The other use cases are, there's a lot of content out there. Let's say you want to learn even about prompt engineering. Every day there is a new development. What generative AI can do for you is summarize that for you. Right. And according to your skills, according to your topics of interest, summarize that for you. And depending on where you want to go deep, you can actually go deep into that content. Right. So summarization is a very, very powerful capability that generative AI can actually bring for us. So likewise, language translation. So lots of use cases there, Subbu. I'm so sorry to cut you, but we're running out of time. So if you could quickly talk to us about your revenues, where are they at, what's the target for this fiscal, and what about profitability? Sure. We are on our way to becoming a $100 million company in the next 4 to 5 years. Okay. We are about 5 quarters away from profitability. Our goal is to become a Centaur, which is a $100 million profitable company in the next 4 to 5 years. All right. And quickly tell us global expansion plans. What are the markets that you're eyeing? Will India continue to remain your top or your biggest market? And what's the revenue mix? So right now, only a third of our revenue comes from India. Okay. The remaining 2/3 comes from Middle East, Southeast Asia, and recently in the US. So these will be our 4 markets. We expect the share of India's revenue to fall to about 25% over the next 2 to 3 years. But India will remain a top market. It will be the fastest growing economy in the world. It is our a test bed for experimentation.
Right.
Indian customers are the most adventurous. So we will never drop the ball on India. But having said that, we will always be a global company.
All right. Always be a global company. And inorganic growth plans, are you in talks with anybody? Will we hear about any acquisitions soon?
Yes, it's a couple of them are in the works. Yes, we are interested in acquiring companies either for product capability or for distribution capability.
Any companies that you can tell us that you're looking at currently?
I'm not allowed to reveal that right now.
All right, Subbu. Subbu, thank you so much for joining us on the show, and we wish you all the best going forward.
Thank you very much, and really appreciate the opportunity.
Well, with that, it's time for us to take a short break. But coming up, Navgati, a one-stop fuel-agnostic platform, is revolutionizing the fuel station experience in India. We understand how. On the other side, stay tuned.